So, this week we wanted to make a video inspired by another channel, the Out Late But Great channel, and they had a topic for their channel this week about role models. And we started talking about that, and I thought that would be an excellent video for us to make. So, we wanted to share with you a couple of our role models, and basically the question was, who were your role models as kids when you were younger, young adults, and who are your role models now? And when I was a kid, my mom, when I was around 6 years old, had a nervous breakdown. She had a very abusive husband, my father, and she had she has some emotional problems and some psychological problems. And I remember being around 6 years old and my mom going to our church and basically having a nervous breakdown in front of the church. Now, that was a very hard time in my childhood, and I remember being very scared and very upset and just wondering what was going on with my mom. I had no concept and no idea what I could do to make it better. And she basically, no one in the church helped her. They basically called the police. And when the police showed up, there was one police officer in general who basically pulled me aside and talked to me and was very, very caring and loving and compassionate with me. And basically was telling me how much better, it was going to be okay, that they would take care of my mom and they would do the right things. And that inspired me to do what I do today. Ever since I was 6 years old, I wanted to be in law enforcement. I've always wanted to do that for some other kid, be there for somebody who needed me in a time when they felt like the whole world was against them. And that was a role model I look back on now and realize that one kind action has, pretty much dictated my life when it comes to my career. And I think that role models can be really important people, and they can make a big impact, even when they maybe don't realize that they're doing so. What about you? Who's your role model?
You talked about when you were a kid. What about as a grown-up?
Well, I can let you do yours first as a kid.
Well, mine are kind of silly because I've never really had anything.
I know a great role model you have.
Well, my grandma. I mean, first and foremost, because she's the source of a lot of my spiritual beliefs, for starters. Mm-hmm. But she's always been the person who really not only told me what unconditional love and what family means. She's not only told me about those things, but she showed it to us in her actions every day. And she's been the person who not only would never say anything bad about somebody, but would also give them the shirt off her back. And she very much was my role model growing up.
So no other role models when you were a kid? Any people that stood out?
Not real people.
Yeah.
No.
So basically Star Wars and comic book heroes?
Yeah.
So who was, okay, well, from that perspective, who was your role model, let's say, from sci-fi, or was there someone you looked up to?
No, I grew up in a period when sci-fi was really about good guys and bad guys, and I really took to heart that notion that you protect people and you look out for them, and that's, I think, part of the good things about Star Wars and things like that is that it brings out the best in people instead of the worst.
Yeah, I think Chewbacca's probably a role model of yours, you just don't realize it.
Well, yes, he's big and hairy, which I like, but also he's loyal.
Okay, on that note, today's role models. Today is really easy. There are people in my life today that really inspire me and want to make me do better. I guess the first role model I can think of would be Sean Chapin. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of you know that, and I plug Sean Chapin's video on YouTube quite a bit. But when the whole Prop 8 thing was going on, I came across one of Sean Chapin's videos, and it just blew me away. And I started watching his channel, and I started watching some of his videos, and I realized that one guy in San Francisco can make a huge change with his voice. And that's when I approached Brian and said, hey, we need to do something. We need to put our voice out there. We need to tell people that our families are no worse and no better than anybody else. And Sean Chapin really inspired me to do that. So if you're watching the video, Sean, you are definitely one of my role models today. You're somebody who I look up to. You're somebody who I always, anticipate your videos. And I want to thank you for that. My second role models, I think, would be more, it's the people who every day work hard for change in this country. It's the people behind Get Equal. It's Dan Choi. These people, it's the people who just came out with the It Gets Better videos. It takes all of our voices speaking the same language to an unaccepting populace that will make real change in this country. And I really, really, whenever I get tired of making YouTube videos, or I think, okay, let's not make a video, I always think about those people who are making videos and what they're saying and how they're trying to make change. And so those are definitely role models of mine. One last role model is this guy. You know, sometimes I can be a little jaded in life, and he keeps me on track. You know, he is one of the biggest hearts of anybody I know.
You totally just stole my thunder.
Did
Yeah.
I? Sorry. But he's, you know, he inspires me every day to be better, to be a better person. Because there's some days when you just get so angry and so frustrated, and you look to the person in your life that can keep you balanced. And Brian is definitely my rock. He keeps me balanced. You know, he makes it so I don't get on YouTube and make just angry ranting videos. And you all should be thanking Brian for that.
It doesn't do any good sometimes, baby.
So who are your role models today?
Well, I was going to also say that you're one of my role models because I wouldn't be doing this. I would never have had the courage to put myself online in that way, because I grew up in a family that was not just xenophobic, but phobic in just about every way you can be phobic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When we first started making these videos, it was because Jay said, come on, we'll just do it. It'll be simple. It'll be you, me, the kids around the table. And I was really concerned about it. I was seeing, you know, bricks with hate messages coming flying through our front window. I was imagining all kinds of bad things, not being able to walk down the street. And we had such a great response, you know, that it encouraged me to keep going in it. And if it wasn't for Jay sort of pushing me past that boundary, I would never have gotten over my own inertia.
And now you're the star of the channel.
So, yeah, and I really respect and look up to a lot of bloggers because I really admire what they do. I'm blanking on a lot of names right now.
Pam's House Play.
Yeah, Pam Spalding and Autumn Sandine and Jeremy of Good As You and Andy Towle and the whole, because those people all have regular lives too. A lot of them have jobs, and it amazes to me that they're able to keep up those blogs and keep us informed. And
well, we know how much work your blog takes.
Yeah, and I'm only blogging like every other day, and sometimes an opinion piece, and they're pounding out the news as it happens. That impresses me. So.
And I think his role model today is somebody that, you know, he mentioned earlier as a kid, his grandmother.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, sometimes when you're a kid and your family gives you all these ideals and they tell you this is how life's supposed to be, well, they say the words, but they don't follow through with the actions. And, you know, his grandmother's always taught Brian that unconditional love, you know, you love your family and you stand by your family. And she really has done that for you. I mean, out of Brian's whole family, she's the one who's made me feel the safest and the closest and the most loved and the most accepted. And she really follows through with her words. She's not a hypocrite at all.
No. And my dad really taught me what being a man was supposed to be about. And, you know, when you get older, sometimes you learn what it's not supposed to be about through that same source.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, there's a lot of people who we look up to that maybe we don't acknowledge or thank for being there, just to show you how to be a human being.
Okay, YouTube, you know we can talk all day, and so we're hiding in our bathroom because we have a house full of kids, and this is the only quiet place that we have. I would love to hear your guys' take on this video. Who are your role models? Let us know who you look up to. Is it a family member? Is it somebody on YouTube? Is it somebody in your community? I know I'd like to hear it.
And your role models don't have to be perfect people. Yeah. Sometimes you learn a lot by what not to do is what to do.
So let us know, either in the comments or making a video response. We'd love to know, and we'd love to hear. So, until next time, YouTube, talk to you soon. I like kisses. Bye.
I like kisses too.
Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.